Give me my theme music!
Not sure why it's not coming through. Can you hear me now? That's the question. You know what? I think I know what it is. No, it should be. Yeah, okay. I'm on. It's working. It showed it was working. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Well, appreciate it. Welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Russ Dornish. Appreciate you guys catching that early on. So I wasn't here all by myself, just talking to nothing. So we're going to be talking about spring practice. We're going to be talking about the different press conferences that happened today. What did some of the coaches have to say? What did some of the players have to say? And we're going to be doing a deep dive into one of said players, which of course is the topic of today's show, the title of the video, having to do with Draylon Miller and what he is going to bring to this team this upcoming season. We're going to take a look at some of Draylon Miller's highlights from this past season, just to talk about, what it might look like in a Draylon offense, because we did a lot of creative things when Draylon Miller was on the field last year. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, we went away from that a little bit. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why we went away from that. I'm, hoping that we get more of that. But we're going to take a look at some of the plays, and I'm sure you guys are going to notice some of the creativity that came from using Draylon Miller last year, what he might look like this year, and could Draylon Miller be the next number one on this team? He very well may earn that number one before the season even starts, which he's definitely going to deserve if he keeps things up as it stands. So welcome to the show today. Appreciate you guys jumping on, letting me know that we're good on the audio. Absolutely. TK, it's looking more and more like the writing's on the wall. If he wants to have a massive part of an offense, it may not be with this team. What's up, Northside? Eric, buddy, how's it hanging? Appreciate you. TK, I like what I've seen from him. I think he could be a good depth piece. I think it's going to be hard to unseat one of our starting cornerbacks between DJ, Colton Hood. It's going to be a little hard. However, he could have a role in this team as a depth piece to potentially eventually replace a DJ McKinney once he leaves next year, and potentially others. And Northside, this is what I want to see. I want to see more two back sets. We're seeing them already in practice. We saw them a couple times last fall, and we're seeing it a lot more in practices, both between the different sets. We're seeing more motion. We're seeing more tight ends. We're seeing some, option plays, some straight option plays that we didn't really get with Sheduer. So definitely a different offense than what we saw the last couple of years. Draylon going to look crazy in that 2-back set? Yes, he absolutely is. He is what Sean Payton on the Broncos would like to call his joker. Draylon Miller is going to be the joker for Coach Prime and Colorado going in this fall season. So let's dive right in. I want to take a look, listen first into the practice, listen to the press conference, and what Draylon Miller had to say. So let's go ahead and dive into that first here. You guys let me know. Make sure you can hear it when it comes through, but hopefully it's loud enough. I have it turned all the way up, so this is as loud as it's going to get. Okay, so this was Draylon Miller on the pro day. So again, that's a big thing when the team had to call a receiver up to come and catch some balls for Sheduer. Who was the receiver they called? Draylon Miller.
Just had spring break, so I just get to Dallas working out, and I get a call like, "We need you to come back and run through pro day." I'm like, "Huh?" So like literally 2 days later, I had jumped on the flight, got back out here the week before, and just started training and getting right with them.
What did that do for you, just confidence-wise?
It boosted me a lot, I would say. It was big, all the scouts out there, and just to experience all that, and just to be there with those guys, probably my last time on the field for a while. So I had a blast with them. I was like, it was so quiet and everybody's so serious. I'm like, let's have some fun, go out there and have a blast.
Okay, so first off, again, this is just more to tell other people out there that when you come to Colorado, the eyes are on you. Draylon Miller got an opportunity to be a part of Pro Day without needing to be a graduated or a player heading into the NFL. He got early eyes from scouts, and those scouts will be taking notes. They'll be keeping tabs on him. They will be looking, to figure out what they're going to do. Horizontal, you make a great point here too. A number of the receivers are looking much bigger, much stronger. I think this is part of the reason that you didn't see us go out and get a bunch of upperclassmen wide receivers. They believe that the receivers are going to take a jump from last year to this year, and Draylon is probably going to lead the way for all of receivers when it comes to those second-year guys. Obviously, Omarion Miller's back. Jason Phillips had a lot of great things to say about Omarion today, but also had a ton to say about Draylon as well. The two Millers are going to be a massive part of this offense going forward, not only next year, but the years to come as they stick around. We'll see what happens with them, but absolutely a massive thing that you could see. Russ, do you see Colorado getting impact players in the spring portal, more of depth, rotational? I'm leaning towards rotational. It depends on the position. If there is somebody that can be an impact player at a position and they want to come to Colorado, the team's not going to say no, guys. The goal of a coach is to bring in players that are going to compete and push other players. And if that leads to that new player taking somebody's spot, then so be it. That is the coach's job, okay? That is the coach's job, absolutely. I heard someone mention something about a wildcat formation with Gibson, Draylon, Michael. A lot of motion misdirection, scary. And if that's true, and if we're looking at something like that, add in Isaiah Harge here. It could be absolutely unbelievable, okay? Absolutely unbelievable, the creativity with the playmakers that this team has is going to lead to a lot of different things. Okay. Lots of great names, Gualo. We the Millers, meet the Millers, remember the Millers. Absolutely. And after the game, I still think Sincere Brown loading in. Yep. We're coming close to that spring game, guys. That's coming up very soon. And Sincere Brown visiting along with a number of recruits that we'll probably be visiting. Like I said, last year, the line went out the door for recruits visiting on the spring game weekend. That'll be the same again once the spring game hits again. So be on the lookout. We will be reporting on anybody who happens to come on that spring game. We'll be previewing that before the spring game once that week hits. Now, I want to move on to what Draylon had to say when it talked about what his role in this offense is going to be, what they're going to have as far as packages, and could, Draylon be looking at a bigger role?
We talked to Coach Shermer. He said, and the offensive line coach said, that you guys really want to run the ball this year. I know it's kind of hard to tell during spring, but do you feel like there's an effort towards more of an effort running the ball this season?
Most definitely. I feel like last year we didn't do the best running the ball. So I feel like we want to emphasize on that this year and let the teams know that we can run the ball and we can be just as dominant in the pass game also.
What will that look like for you? Will you be getting some carries?
Most definitely. I mean, just for me back there, I'll be happy. As long as I got the ball in my hands, I'm probably a smile on my face. So put me anywhere on the field, I'll make something happen. You know, just trusting the running backs, I'm blocking for them. Hopefully I get a couple pancakes this year.
Yep. Draylon is just saying all the right things. Absolutely, you know, going to be that. You think we lost Isaiah Augustov in the portal? Has that officially been confirmed or what? Because I see him at practice, so I'm not sure what we're thinking with losing him to the portal, especially, you know, with his role in practices. We'll have to see. Nothing on my end as far as that goes. And then the last thing that I wanted to do is to listen to Scott Proctor ask a great question of Draylon, which again has to do with that number one, that of course is considered the number to have, and absolutely go for there.
Obviously, Draylon, you were number one in high school. How would you like to wear number one again, and how cool would it be for you to earn that after watching DeJounte kind of go through the process of earning it last season?
It mean a lot, like a whole bunch actually. You know, coming out of high school, I wanted one bad, but you know, Coach Prime, you have to earn everything here. And coming out, I knew Tay wanted one, so I was like, okay, I'll probably wait the next year. So yeah, I just been working to try to earn number one and just get back to my own self.
Obviously,
okay. So Draylon looking for that number one, looking to be that halfback, looking to be a bigger part of that offense going forward and what could possibly be going on. So I wanted to go through and look at some of the highlights, that Draylon was a part of this year. Just pay attention. If you guys remember, and I remember seeing this in game one against North Dakota State, I was like, man, they're using Draylon in so many different situations. They're trying to get the ball in his hands. He didn't really have too many big plays against North Dakota, but there were other times in the season where he did. It's obvious they saw what they wanted to see, but I don't know if it was because it was a freshman that they decided to pull back a little bit. As you can see, though, you know, again, they were looking for different things, rolling him out there, looking for the quick screenplay. Again, more and more screenplays, trying to get the balls into their playmakers' hands. I didn't love that as much, but here we go. They had Draylon at running back that game one a number of times, which I was very impressed at as far as the creativity goes for the offense during last season. So that was definitely something to pay attention to, throwing it out into the flats. The play that I want to look at the most here is right here, guys. So right here, we've got a two-back set. So I know that you guys said that last week, or said that earlier in the chat. Excuse me, not last week, but said that earlier in the chat of, oh, you know, I would love to see more two-back sets. Look at what they were able to do. They do an RPO or a fake RPO or a play action, whatever you want to call it in this situation. And then they look at getting the pass to Draylon. It created a lot of separation, got him into open space, ended up with a good 10-yard play here against Baylor. Absolutely loved seeing that. Whenever we saw that, I saw success. You know, the play action worked out of that. The misdirection from the running backs was a really, really great opportunity. I don't know why we went away from that at times. You know, here's another play. Start with Draylon in the backfield. Quick little out. Give him the ball. Again, first down. Positive play for Drelon Miller on that. So that is something to pay attention to as well. Let's see it again. Same thing. We start with him in the backfield, leaks out to the side. Or sorry. This one is a little bit different. I thought it was a different play that I had pulled up. Again, two-back set against Arizona in the red zone. And I loved what I saw from here. I mean, look at that. Look at that play call. Look at the misdirections. It's great to see. And I want to see more of this year. I want to see this, even if it has to be our base set, you know, our base formation. Two running backs, give the other team something to think about, especially when you think about going into a option, going into a read option, whatever that may be. You could do that here and have so many different ways of spreading out the defense, making them have to kind of be more patient so that they're not just going after the quarterback. You can do so many plays out of this kind of set. And with this one, the creativity came from, well, they had the running back run out to the side, shovel pass to Draylon, touchdown for Colorado. Like, absolutely great play, great, creative movement. I love what I saw when we did that, and I wish we just did it a lot more than we did. We moved away from it. Here it is again. Like I said, when we did it, it was successful. So Cincinnati, same thing. Fake the handoff, pitch play or shovel pass to Draylon, and he gets a first down out of it. Like, the amount of yards that we were getting out of this was because of the creativity using Draylon as part of the offense. An absolutely important aspect to the team and something that we need to see a heck of a lot more of this upcoming year. Russ, the reason we were not able to do certain plays because Sheduer was always switching up the play with Pat. And I get that. There was definitely some of that to it and him wanting specific plays going away from, that 2 running back set. It just didn't make sense to me. I hope we see that a lot more in the base. And again, if you add in the capability of a Caden Salter, who is a good running quarterback, into what we just saw, the creativity and the movement that this offense could be able to do is going to make a heck of a difference overall for this team for this entire year. So very excited to see what comes of that. Very excited to see what kind of plays we can see out of this. And it's going to be very interesting to see, what Pat Shurmur and this offense is able to cook up. So a couple more things that I wanted to talk about today. Not a ton to talk about this week, of course, just because of where we're at in the spring season, but we're coming close, guys. Hey, the portal is opening very, very soon. We will have a lot of stuff when it comes to the portal, but like we've already talked about, there's already a number of players who are starting to hit the portal that could be of big interest to Colorado, okay? So that's going to be something that we're going to be really, really hitting hard on videos in the future and posts. Something interesting, though, that I thought about today, if you haven't already seen Well Off Media /Twitter, Alvin Kamara was in Boulder, actually in person, visiting the team, visiting Coach Prime. I know he has a very good connection, obviously, with Sean Payton. There also has been a lot of rumors recently since Sean Payton took over head coaching duties of the Broncos of them trying to acquire Alvin Kamara. But the other part of this is obviously the fact that Sheduer Sanders has been recently rumored to be going towards going to New Orleans. So just seeing Alvin Kamara there was something of note that I wanted to bring up if anybody else hadn't seen that yet from social media. Just an interesting little tidbit. Again, you got pros, you got Hall of Famers coming through Colorado on a regular basis. Champ Bailey stuck around after pro day and came to practice this week. That was another big thing. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, could he be another coach? I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. His kid's still playing high school ball, but Colorado did offer his son on his visit this past weekend. So I very well could see a similar Domata Pecco situation where if it looks like Braden Bailey is coming to Colorado, I could see Champ joining the coaching staff at that point, so long as everything's in line and everything kind of works out for that. So that's something to really think about. And he has a relationship with the strength coach. I forgot. He does have a relationship with Andrew Swayze. I know that from his time in college. I know that Swayze was his trainer and somebody that really helped him get ready for the NFL. So a lot of connections from Kamara, okay? A lot of connections. And it's just cool to see more and more players are just gravitating towards what's happening in Boulder. More players coming to visit the state of Colorado, the city of Boulder, get to see what it's all about, get to see, wow, this place is actually really nice and really cool and beautiful. And what Coach Prime is doing is unbelievable. It's just continuing to increase that exposure to the fact that, hey, if you're a high school kid and you want to be coached by the best, you want to go to an absolutely great place to live, you want to go and be prepared for the NFL or anywhere else, Colorado's going to be that place for you. And it's just awesome getting to see that. They like what's happening in CU. That's for sure. Sheduer only going to the Saints if they sell the farm and move up. We'll see, buddy. We'll see. I have a bad feeling about the draft. I think that New York, I think that both New York teams, the Giants and the Jets, are going to make massive mistakes by not taking Sheduer. I think that I can at least tell you what the first 2 picks are going to go. I think the Titans pick up Cam Ward, and I think Cleveland actually ends up taking Travis Hunter. So those are going to be my locks for the first 2 picks. I would say a perfect draft would be Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and Sheduer Sanders. 1, 2, 3. But just knowing the Giants and how stupid they are, okay, picking Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, I have a bad feeling that they are going to make a mistake. So, the Saints at 9 may not be as bad as we think at this point, but we're going to have to see what happens. CU's starting to become a cool school. Players want to visit, and it's a beautiful town. Yep. North Crowley safety going to commit next Friday before our spring game. Yep, I saw that, and we're on his list of finalists. It'll be interesting to see. I haven't heard too much outside of that list. So I don't even know. Can anybody else confirm? Because I wasn't able to confirm. Has he even taken a visit to Colorado? It's never good when a kid's ready to commit and hasn't even visited the campus that's in his top teams. I can't remember when he came. If he came in the fall, maybe for one of the games. I don't know. Going to be very interesting to see. Of course, the North Crowley connection is there with his teammate. But I'm going to be very honest and, not hearing anything just yet. So I can't give you any good news or say that we're in the lead as of right now. Okay, as of right now. Sheduer is going to the Browns. They're not going to pass up on him. I mean, Robert, they'd be dumb to pass up on him. I also wouldn't blame him if they take Travis. But if you're not taking Travis or Sheduer and you, I saw a mock draft taking the top offensive lineman for New York. I thought that was stupid. Anybody that takes Abdul Carter in that range that doesn't, that needs a quarterback or just needs a franchise playmaker, I think that's a dumb pick. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Brady, I honestly hope Sheduer falls and goes to a better team. He doesn't need top 10 money, already got it. I mean, there is a benefit to that. I mean, that part of it is just the ability to say that you went top 5, top 10. Money-wise, you're right. Doesn't need it as much as maybe some of the other draft picks. Would love to have him go to a team that has a better chance. The team that's starting to creep up now, but again, really, really back there in the draft, either the Steelers or the Rams. If Sheduer goes to the Steelers, guys, if Sheduer goes to the Steelers, I think they're a playoff team. I mean, they were a playoff team. But I think that Sheduer Sanders is way better for them than Justin Fields or Russell Wilson were. And I think that he would do a lot if he dropped all the way down to the Steelers. The question is, are you okay with him dropping that far? Or do the Steelers pay a little bit and at least come up into the teens to get him? That's going to be a big question. The other team that I'm hearing now too is the St. Louis Rams as another spot that likes Sheduer. Both teams potentially maybe looking at Sheduer wanting to sit a year or two. I'm not sure where I think he's going to go. I would love to see him with the Saints, with the Steelers, but I don't love where their picks are and what that means for Sheduer. Now, the other coin to that, the other side of that is if Sheduer goes later in that first, then would you say that maybe there's a little less pressure on him to come in and succeed right away? That's another question you have to wonder as well that, we could think about. I got a bad feeling too, but nonetheless, it'll be the best for Sheduer, so I'm not tripping. I think Mike Green is better than Carter. Yeah, something about Carter just, he's reminding me of some other players I'm not absolutely sure of. Does Sheduer still have eligibility? Maybe he could come back. I think he does, but I don't think he's coming back, guys. I don't think he's coming back. Russ, I'm not sold on the Giants picking up 2 old thuds. I'm keeping with the Giants. Hey, I would love it. I would love it if it was. Everyone forgets who went early in the draft. No long-term gain. Please, anyone but the Browns. Are we talking about for Travis? Are we talking about for Sheduer? Or are we talking about both at this point? Anyone but the Browns. I get it, guys. They are a quarterback killer. There's certain teams that have the higher spot that I hate in the draft. Do you think the spring portal would have quality players? I could see young players, redshirt freshmen in the portal. There'll be some surprises, guys. There'll be some surprises on Colorado that hit the portal, but there will be some surprises overall that hit the portal that Colorado will probably be interested in. And the good news is at this point, Colorado's going to have probably more roster spots than some other teams out there. So this is probably the Buffs' best chance of picking up some more playmakers, some more impact players. I know somebody asked earlier, like, I don't think they're going to actually pick up impact players. The thing is, they will. Now, the question is what you define as an impact player. Because right now, what we're seeing is a lot of lower level players who are going to be hitting the portal who had very, 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 by the way, big impacts on their lower level teams who are ready to make that jump to the next level. Those are the players that are honestly going to have more of an effect on a team than players who leave a Bama, a Georgia, an Ohio State, as we've seen. If they're leaving those schools, they weren't able to climb up the depth charts there, and they're looking for chances elsewhere. You know, I like the idea of a guy like a Sincere Brown, or today, you know, the corner from Troy hitting the portal and what he was able to do there. I like the ability for those players to come and be ready to play at the next level because they've shown that they can succeed at the lower levels. Now, the question is, can they come and bring that consistency and that ability to that next level? Those are the players that are going to have a bigger impact on your roster than anybody else. And that's who we need to be looking at, is who's leaving other teams and what are they going? Brady, I could see the Giants and Browns passing on him at 2 and 3 and then trading up and still getting, I don't know if we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting one. Dark horse, if possible, Sheduer to the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell will be a good OC. See, I think they like J.J. McCarthy, Eric. I think they're J.J. McCartney or bust. I don't think they're going to take another quarterback in back-to-back years. I'm going to say this. Matt have an edge named Brody. That kid is nice. He's fast off that edge. I mean, Matt will connect those players to the program. It's just whether or not the program will actually take those players. I wouldn't be surprised if Sanders went to the Steelers at 21. I love the fit for him if he works behind Rodgers for a year because of what Rodgers did for Jordan Love. I think it would, just be nice to see him at that next level and be on a team that is more put together than some of those top teams, especially Cleveland. That's for sure. Are there any players on CU that maybe get in the portal? I mean, there could be a bunch, guys. We don't know. It's hard to gauge right now. I mean, the only thing we can go off of, and again, I hate doing this. Someone already put in a rumor of a player going in the portal in the chat. The thing is that I don't want to say yes or no because we're going off of what we see on well-off videos. We're going off of well-off videos right now. And again, that's dumb to do. We're lucky that we get this much exposure to the team. And until somebody hits that portal, it's only speculation, and it's not a good type of speculation because especially those players are on our team. There's one thing speculating on like a high school recruit committing. There's another thing entirely saying that a guy already on the roster is leaving. Okay. So I don't really know. Russ, T-Cal is going to be in Boulder Thursday. Just giving you a heads up. Okay. Sweet. I feel like Jerry Jones will draft Sheduer if he falls to their pick. I don't think that he will. I really don't. I mean, I could see it, but I don't think it will. When do Wonderlics test grades come out for CU players? I don't know when they make that public. I don't remember the time frame that they did that in the past. I mean, they talk about it like crazy at the draft, but as far as it going public, I'm not sure what that looks like. When it comes to that. So something to think about, I'm not sure. The Titans need Sheduer or a Travis. This fan base in Nashville needs something to get excited about. Well, Eric, it sounds like Cam's going to be that excitement. I don't know. I hope that Cam turns out for them and they don't make a mistake there. That's for sure. Caleb Mathis, some of them young wide receivers. Okay. Jerry Jones was traded for Joe Milton. Yeah, I like I said, I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's where Sheduer at this point wants to go. I really don't. So, something to think about when it comes to that. I haven't seen Otis in a minute, or I'm tripping. You're tripping because I saw him today in the video. You saw him in the background at the end of the video when they're all gathered around at the end of practice. I saw him in the background huffing and puffing like everybody else because of the sprints they did for penalties. So I did see him. Yeah. So, okay. Outside of that, more things I want to talk about. A little bit of recruiting updates for you guys, just to let you know some of the things we've seen. Obviously, I had somebody in the chat say that the quarterback didn't show up this weekend. He's not coming to Colorado. I don't know if he's coming to Colorado or not, but he was in Colorado, and he was visiting both Coach Prime and Pat Shurmur this past week, and we finally got the official visit picture from McWhirter. Brody, 4-star quarterback. So something to think about. Do I think we're getting him? No, I don't think we're getting him. With Juju Lewis on the roster, I don't think we're getting any 4 stars. 3 stars, we'll probably get somebody because we'll need to, keep adding to that quarterback room over the year. But something to think about there. Also, interesting thing, by the way, and I don't know if Breck didn't go and someone can maybe let me know. But Breck's parents and family posted photos with Coach Prime from this weekend and visiting, but Breck was not there. So interesting that his team or his parents and family would go visit Prime again. They've already visited Prime. I don't know if Breck was there or not. I haven't seen the video of Brett or the picture of Brett there. Just interesting that they would just post the photo of the family and not Breck himself. So obviously Coach Prime has a pretty good connection with Breck's family, which to me is very, very good. Well, and so Stamp says he was on a visit to UGA. So he's on a visit to UGA, but his family is visiting for the umpteenth time to talk to Coach Prime. Coach Prime don't play that game. He doesn't do this for clout to let people just take pictures. Something is there, guys. There is smoke still when it comes to Breck and Deacon, if we're going to just talk about that. Okay? If Breck family is in, yeah. Okay, so Breck posted on Twitter. So needless to say, Breck's family is at Colorado while Breck is at Georgia. What does that tell you guys? What does that tell you? Right? I mean, that's where it's at. So, a little bit of update on the Breck situation when it comes to Colorado. Interesting to see his family getting to meet up with Coach Prime. And of course, Deacon taking a ton of pictures, enjoying his time from visiting Coach Prime in Colorado as well. Lots of great things coming out from this weekend that we need to, keep an eye on as always. I don't see Caden being an elite passer. That's the one thing about this I'm missing. That's a mystery, and I don't agree with this being an elite running team. Well, the idea is that I don't think we're going to be an elite passing team like we were the last 2 years. I think that's not the point. I think that we're going to be much more balanced. I think you're going to see a lot more read option. Okay, not RPO, read option. And so I think that Caden fills that need. He doesn't need to be the elite passer that Sheduer was. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be a run first type of offense. Okay, I don't. So that's where we're at right now. Something to think about when it comes to, that he doesn't need to be. Now, you got to remember, Caden Salter threw 3,000 yards in one season at Liberty. So to say he's not some elite quarterback right now or can't be that, I think is selling that a little bit short. Caden is just a more all-around balanced quarterback than Sheduer was. Sheduer was a pass-first gunslinger in the pocket who ran on occasion. Okay? Gonna be a little bit different. Robert Mathis, I'm feeling a commitment. I mean, those Colorado kids have to be close to committing. You have to believe. If Breck is Breckenridge, Juju's Vale, that's a good little combo name. Caden will pass for 3,000 yards and rush for 750. Okay, I like where that's at. When people say Caden is an elite passer, lets me know they don't watch film. I mean, his Liberty tape from that 3,000-yard season is pretty darn good. Stamp, here's the thing. While it was fun mostly because of Travis and Sheduer. you got to realize that, I mean, a lot of that was backyard playing where it was like, hey, go deep. I'm going to throw you the ball. Like, it's fun to watch. It's entertaining at times. But if you really like football and really love football, you love a balanced offense. You love a offense that can get it done either way, running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever that may be. That's going to win you championships more so than just being one-dimensional like Colorado was for 2 years. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Outside of those recruiting updates, other things like we've talked about, there was the mention of the corner from Troy entering the transfer portal. There was another guy that just entered the transfer portal as well 49 minutes ago. That'll be an interesting one that we need to keep tabs on. I do think secondary is going to be a focus in the transfer portal, along with the right side of the offensive line for next season. But something to think about. So Jaden Lyles just entered the transfer portal, first team all UAC selection, 119 career tackles, 7 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. Would be a nice little depth piece on the back end there. We'll see if that's what he's looking for, if he wants to go someplace that he's going to play right away and be a part of that as well. Something to pay attention to for sure. Outside of that, let's see. So we got a class of 2026 commit. Here's the other one we've got. So here is the other receiver we need to look out for when it comes to the transfer portal. Troy starting cornerback LJ Green plans to enter the transfer portal. 5'10", 170. I'm a little worried about the size, not because I don't think he can be good at that size, but because I know that Coach Prime and company don't love undersized corners. Okay, started all 12 games for the Trojans, 27 tackles, 6 pass breakups, 2 interceptions last year with 3 years eligibility. That's the key. 3 years eligibility, which means he could come in and be a depth piece at a D1 spot like Colorado and be fine with sitting the bench for a year, learning things, and then going from there. What's good, Turbo? Welcome in. Appreciate you dropping by today. Travis adjusted countless underthrown deep balls. Travis, the reason Sheduer is going first round. I'm not going to put that all on Travis, guys. I'm not going to put that all on Travis. Yes, Travis did unbelievable things, but there was a lot of great decisions by Sheduer that also helped out. Russ, do you see you being in the highs? Nah, I don't, unless Caden Salter has an absolutely ridiculous year. It's a quarterback's, it's a quarterback award. I know Travis won it, but I think that that's an anomaly in the fact that he played both ways. I don't think we have a running back. I don't think that Caden Salter is going to get the attention that he should. You just look at Sheduer. Sheduer should have been in New York with those guys. He absolutely should have at least been there as a representative for Colorado as well. He wasn't, and I think that's going to hurt any quarterbacks from here unless they have an absolutely insane year. Yeah, quarterback from Clemson just entered. CU offered him in high school. That one, again, remember what I said earlier, guys. Remember what I said. I said guys leaving D1 programs like that are going to need a hard look at them because there is a reason they are leaving. Are they leaving because they don't like the competition? Are they leaving because they're not doing the right things and being the right player there? Those players are not going to get looked at by Colorado. A guy like a Sincere Brown who has stepped up, worked his way up by working his butt off to go to the Division I level, yeah, that makes sense for him coming to Colorado. A guy leaving a Clemson, a Bama, an Auburn, an Ohio State, a Florida State, they're going to be looked at a little bit differently at this point. They need to be in that perfect spot. Now, have we found them? Yes. You look at a guy like Colton Hood, who was looking like he might be a starter for Auburn coming to Colorado. That was a little bit different. Now, you got to really look deep into the background of what these players are doing. Okay, with all these weapons Caden has at his disposal, including his abilities, I don't think he's to all that throwing. Sorry, but we have money now. No G5 players and no O-line. We need high production, high-quality O-linemen. Lil Bucket, I disagree, like I said. I disagree. I think you can get some good players out of G5 if you need to, if they're producing at that level. How do you feel about Coach Hart? Does he say, or do we need to find somebody else? I'm not going to dive into that one too deep. I can't be the one judging that. Again, I'm not a linebacker. I don't know that specific spot or what's going on. The fact that we have George Hilo on the staff makes me fine with what we have right now. Okay. George Hilo is going to have a lot of stuff to say with all of that, and I'm not too worried. Unless he is slot corner, 5'10", a good size. He absolutely, again, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take him. I'm just telling you it's part of the reason that they wouldn't look at, some corners in the past was because of size. So just saying, don't kill the messenger. That's more on the team. I'm saying, until they prove us otherwise, the team does have a little bit of an affinity to go against that. Okay. Stamp Salter lights it up. Yes. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for Juju. What's the best NFL team fit for Jimmy and Shiloh? So Jimmy, that's an interesting one. I would love him to go to my Broncos. We need some more wide receivers, but any team that, is looking for that wide receiver fit, that would be a great spot for him. Shiloh's a tough one. You know which team I think could take him? I'm going to say it now. Hey, we'll come back to it. Maybe I'll be right. A team that lost a lot on the defensive side of the ball. The San Francisco 49ers could be a great spot for Shiloh to go to. And with their connections to his dad, I think it could be a good fit. Not saying Shiloh's going to get drafted there, but I could see him end up there potentially. FYI, Caden had a 48.6 QBR last season, 86 in 23. Wild discrepancy, not sure which Caden we're going to get this year. Okay, so Esses, did you watch Caden play last year? The reason why I asked that is if you go watch the tape from both years, you'll know a lot of his issues were not from him last year. That Liberty team took a massive step back in skill across the board. Okay. And so a lot of what happened became because of the players that were around Caden. A lot of people dropping passes, a lot of people running incorrect routes. You could tell that the communication was off there. All I'm saying is I would not take last year as the norm. I would look at his first year, and now would he have as unbelievable as a year? Maybe not. But the other side of it, too, is he's going to have even better playmakers than he did in that really successful year at Liberty. So that's where I want to just say, hold your horses on Caden, okay? Because I don't think I'm ready to say that last year was some kind of normal thing. I think it was the anomaly. I think the year before was closer to what you can assume to get from him. So just pay attention to that, okay? We have to remember the O-line is banged up right now, like quite a few people are out. Caden will have a better season than Sheduer did. Could be. If he gets the running going, yeah. What up, King John? Appreciate you dropping by. It's okay. You showed up late. We're still here for a little bit longer, so that works. No true help in that Liberty team. His wideouts had a lot of drops. Yeah, just go watch the tape. It was bad. It was bad. That Liberty team was not good around him last year. I don't know why he went back there after trying to transfer. I don't know if it was a grades thing. I don't know if it was something else entirely, but he should have left last year. If Coach Hart moves on or Coach Prime replaces him, Ray Lewis might be call away. Gold U jacket. Russ, also, do you see Champ Bailey? Yeah, Eric, I talked about it a little bit earlier. I could see him maybe getting a job when his son comes, if he comes. I could see that because, again, family business. Who wouldn't want to help coach their son at the university? Go, come out here. He has the connections to Colorado. Champ does, living here for as long as he did. So I could definitely see it. Champ is definitely a potential yes to add to the staff at some point if Champ wants to coach. That's the question. A lot of these players don't want to coach. They may want to hang around. Maybe Champ will come by through, the doors a little bit more, kind of like a Terrell Owens, and just maybe he doesn't want to coach, but that's something to think about. Salter looking good at linebacker. Hey, that could be a good pickup for the team, guys. That really could. It absolutely could. Cam Abshire is who I'm high on, portal receiver. Yeah, he's going to be another guy we're looking at. So Cam Abshire, Sincere Brown, two guys that could potentially be added to this wide receiver room to make them that much better, guys. That much better. Caden lost so much talent the year before, and he was playing hurt. This is the most talent Salter has ever had around him. Exactly, guys. Jimmy was giving a long look by the Steelers, and Shiloh, I mean, the Broncos talked to him too. You got to remember, Sean Payton was there. The entire Broncos brass were there since it was in their backyard. They talked to Jimmy a lot. They talked to Will Shepherd a lot. They really liked LeJounte. The Broncos are in the market for a receiver or two. So that could be definitely a spot. Zimmer practice, you talk about that. I talked about it on my last show. I know that he's been around practice a bit. I think it's part of it's just off season, guys. I'm not ready to say that he's coming. You got to remember that Zimmer was on the staff at Jackson State when Prime got hired here. It was rumored that he was going to be a part of the staff. He came for a little bit and helped Prime out, but then got his NFL gig. So I don't know what the plan would be for Zimmer. We'll wait and see if he officially becomes a coach on the staff or not. Russ, who are we very close on to getting from the portal and getting signed and stamped? Right now, the only one that I know about is Sincere Brown. He's the only confirmed portal player that is coming to visit. I think he's a lock. I think Colorado ends up with Sincere Brown from Campbell. Zimmer was at practice and at scrimmage in Colorado gear. He's had Colorado gear for a while, Lil Bucket. That's what I was trying to tell you guys last time. Like, he's had Colorado gear. He was technically here for a week or two when Prime first showed up. And there was a big rumor that he was going to be, I can't remember the defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator before we named Shermer and Kelly. One of those positions he was being looked at way back when Coach Prime first got here. And then eventually he moved on to the NFL. Whoever's that quarterback, I'll think they'll struggle a bit early on, and then the offense will get better after a few weeks. We'll see what happens for sure. Appreciate the context with K-Salt. Yeah, it's no worries. I know we don't all have time to watch every player and every team and all that stuff. Just know we've been paying attention to K-Salt. That's why I loved the addition of K-Salt. I truly do think that he was one of the best portal quarterbacks you could have got, and so that was absolutely amazing to see. I can't see Mathis staying next year. Livingston's going to leave. He going with him. If that's the case, that's fine. You know who I could see taking over for Livingston if he does go? Hilo. I could see George Hilo getting the call at defensive coordinator, just so that you guys know out there, if you don't already, George Hilo was a big part of the scheming on the defense with Livingston. They did it together. So I feel like Hilo stayed around because of the fact that there's a chance for him to be a DC. Marshall Faulk has to be a running back. He wants out of the portal. I'm sure he's going to get a chance to do that. I really do. Facts, Hilo would be a great talent at DC. Yeah, Hilo's our next DC. I'd be thrilled if Hilo got named DC after Livingston if he went on to the NFL. That's absolutely it. So that's what I think there. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it for today. Appreciate you guys joining me as always. Make sure you're hitting that like button while you're in here. That helps out so much, guys. Get the video more traction on YouTube. Get to have the algorithm gods get actually this video out to more and more people. So thank you guys so much. And, again, I appreciate all you guys. The communication, the talking makes this show so much fun. Hitting the 200 viewers today. Hey, we're almost to, by the way, 5,000 subscribers. We're getting so close, guys. We are getting so close. If you're not subbed already, please hit that sub button. We are at 4,878 subscribers. So we're almost to the 100 sub mark till we get there. So please, if you could do that. I appreciate you guys so much for the love, for coming each and every week, for all the regulars out there, for everybody. Hey, if you're a member of the channel, we do have 2 members, by the way. I always forget to do this, so I'm going to do it right now. But appreciate it to our 2 members currently. Tim Stapp is officially a Buffs News insider on the channel. He is a member this month, and David Talks Buffs, of course. One of our members. Always going to give a shout out to our members. Appreciate you. If you want to, you can have access to the membership. By the way, you do get access to the all 22 video for Colorado from this past season, and upcoming season, you'll also get access to the all 22 through a link as part of the membership. So if that at all interests you, you can become a member on YouTube. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you again. For Buffs News Weekly, I am Russ Dordish. As always, Sko Buffs.